Hello, everyone. Welcome to our introduction to artificial intelligence course. In this video, we are going to have a quick overview of what our course CS471 is all about. That is artificial intelligence. Most of the things we will look at in this video, we already covered in our class session, but it would still not hurt if we went through it. In our class, we said artificial intelligence is concerned with designing of intelligence in an artificial device. That is, we are trying to make computer systems more intelligent. But why would we want to make computer systems more intelligent? If systems are more intelligent, they'll be able to accomplish more tasks, thus making our work easy. So in the course, we want to learn the principles that guide or how we can approach this subject of making computers more intelligent. Let's look at the definition of intelligence to start with. Intelligence can be defined as a set of properties of the mind. Yes. So what we're trying to say basically is when we talk about intelligence, intelligence encompasses three aspects, namely ability to plan, and we're going to discuss this in detail, ability to solve problems, and in general, reasoning. So as we'll be talking about artificial intelligence, we'll be asking ourselves to say, how do we make computers solve problems? How do we allow computers to reason the way humans do? And how do we allow computers to plan? And as we discussed in class, all these aspects, all these properties requires some thinking, some intelligence, some reasoning. So that is what we will look at. So intelligence basically is the capacity to learn and solve problems. Okay, so to summarize, intelligence means the ability to solve problems, the ability to act rationally, the ability to acquire information or to acquire knowledge and learn from experience, and also to act like humans. So these are the things that we did look at. So what is involved in intelligence? As we look at intelligence, any system that exhibits, or any system that we can call intelligent, should be able to perform the following the following tasks. One, it should be able to interact with the real world. There's supposed to be a way that such a system can communicate with the real world. So an intelligent system, and in artificial intelligence, we'll be referring to this as intelligent agents. They should be able to see or to perceive what is going on. They should be able to understand what is happening and responding. So perceiving what is happening in its world, where it is working, understand, and then perform, respond accordingly. Okay, so for example, if we look at intelligent systems, let's say the voice recognition systems in our mobile phones, we are able to give input, so we can tell our mobile phones to say, can you call Joshua, for example? And what the system will do is it will understand that instruction which we've given and find Joshua's number and perform the action, which is to dial Joshua's number. So an intelligent agent is supposed to perceive, is supposed to observe what is happening. As it is observing, it has to understand the action required, and it has to respond so that there's an effect. Okay. What else is involved in intelligence? Intelligent agents are supposed to plan. Intelligent systems are supposed to reason and plan. Now, planning, or when we talk about problem solving in general, we usually identify the steps to take to solve a problem. So any intelligent system uh, is supposed to reason. That is, it's supposed to look at the steps that are involved to solve a problem. Planning will look at issues of resources. There's this task to be done. How much time is required? What is the cost that is involved? And from there, make a decision. Okay. If I may use an example for, if we may use a navigation system such as Google Maps, for example, when you specify where you're going, let's say you want to move from CBU to Mukubamo, the system, the agent, is supposed to calculate the path for you, determine the path, as well as estimate how long that will take. And the system will now suggest the most efficient path that you should take. If you think about it, if you want to get to Mukubamo, assuming you are going to walk from CBU to Mukubamo, there are so many routes you can take. You can go out from CBU using the Nkana East exit. As you get to Chiwala, you turn to the right and you go all the way past the traffic light by Progress there and proceed until you get to Mukubamo. That is one route you can take. Alternatively, you can use our main gate on the Riverside part, and then you can go to Kwacha. From Kwacha, you go to Buchi. From Buchi, you come to Parklands, and from Parklands, ZMBC area, you go up until you reach Mukubamo. There are so many paths that you can take to achieve your goal. Now, the intelligent agent is supposed to identify which route is better. So planning and reasoning has to come in. As we are going to see later on, there will be issues of unexpected problems as well that have to be handled. What else is involved in intelligence? Intelligence also involves learning and adapting. This, I'll say, is the highest form of intelligence. Intelligence systems are supposed to learn as it is receiving knowledge. It's supposed to learn from that and adapt. Yeah, just like when you are growing up, as you keep learning, the kind of decisions that you are making are much better than someone who is maybe a 2-year-old, a 2-year-old child. So as you receive information, you are learning and you are changing. So those are the key things that are involved in intelligence. Now let's talk about AI problems. Like we discussed in class, we can classify intelligence problems into two types. The two types that we have, there's what we call commonplace tasks and expert tasks. Commonplace tasks, we're talking about those tasks that, well, commonplace, meaning they can be done um, uh, by people and some animals. So these are fairly common tasks. So things like recognition, okay? things like navigating through obstacles, things like communicating through some language. So those are commonplace tasks. Navigating through obstacles. So for example, if you think of a chicken as an example, it is able to see that there's an obstacle ahead of it and can choose to go around it or jump over it if the distance is not so much. So that is a commonplace task. So remember, when we talked about an intelligent agent, we said it is supposed to perceive its environment, understand what is going on, and act. So some of the tasks, like we have said, they are commonplace tasks. So things like recognizing objects, recognizing people, etc. Then communicating, this is another task. This video that I'm about to play is just an example of some software that exhibits some intelligence. So the software that I want to show is the Grammarly software, which is supposed to help with grammar as we write our reports. It checks the grammar for us. So I'll mute yes, and don't mind whoever's playing, but what I want to show is what is happening. So someone writes an email, and as they write the email, indicating their message, this application, this intelligent agent in this case, checks through to determine what changes need to be made. If there are any grammatical errors, they are done. So the whole idea is just trying to demonstrate that intelligent systems are supposed to should have the ability to communicate through some natural language. Okay, so now I'll just, apologies for that. Okay, apologies for that. Okay. So if we look at just this part where there's an email to say the email is being sent. So now the application itself just goes through to identify what changes need to be made and then send the message. So that is what we mean by ability to communicate through a natural language. Another example is the navigation problem around obstacles. So here, there is an example of the Amazon delivery robot, which is supposed to navigate through to deliver. Now, I need to point out to say, here we're just trying to look at, as the robot is moving, it is supposed to detect when there's an obstacle and stop. Later on, we'll look at the expert or the intelligent part of it, where in addition to avoiding the obstacle, it also achieves a goal. So this is another example. Again. All right. Expert tasks. So remember we said artificial intelligence problems are classified into two. So the first part is commonplace tasks. Commonplace tasks. Now, commonplace tasks, we're saying being able to do those things such as recognizing things, avoiding obstacles. We haven't brought in the aspect of achieving a goal. Now, expert tasks. Expert tasks, we're talking about those tasks which are performed by skilled specialists. If we give that task to a human being, it's not every human being who can perform that task, but only those who have who are trained in a particular field. So things like medical diagnosis, things like mathematical problem solving, things like playing games such as chess, etc. Okay, so now just to show an example, this is a demonstration of a self-driving vehicle. Now, the task of driving a car, it's not just about avoiding obstacles. It's about knowing when to speed up, when to slow down, when to turn to the left, when to turn to the right, etc. So I'll just play this real quick and then move from there. So now, when a vehicle is being driven, or like when a vehicle is moving, it has to know where it is, for example. So there's the issue of perceiving the environment. Now, as it is perceiving the environment, it's got to know when to move to the right, when to move to the left, when to overtake, etc. So this is an example of an expert task that we can give. We also have medical diagnosis, like I said, as another example of task. So here, just trying to demonstrate object avoidance, etc. So now just to recap, where are these expert systems applied, or how are they affecting us? You'll find that expert systems or artificial intelligence systems are used in a lot of things. In cars, we have expert systems that embedded for different tasks. In our homes, smart homes today, things like in Internet of Things, where we detect changes and have to make decisions, artificial intelligence systems are widely used. Identification of credit card fraud is another example. Having systems to advise human beings, so diagnosis systems, that is another place. Speech recognition and even complex planning tasks are some of the areas where artificial intelligence systems are widely used. Yeah, so this is where we end the first part of our lecture. In our next part of our lecture, we'll get in more detail as we look at the intelligent agent. Thank you very much for listening.